Okay, good morning all. Hopefully you can hear me. We had to make a makeshift kind of whiteboard this morning. But I wanted to show you kind of what you learned yesterday and show you how to find these parts. So yesterday you should have read about what creates a parabola, and that the vertex of that parabola, which we've been learning about for the last few weeks, there's an equal distance between the vertex and the focus, and the vertex and the directrix. And that value is actually is P. So when our P is greater than 0 or less than 0, you have your determination of direction anyway. When it opens vertically, which is your up and down, this is our equation that we're going to be using. Vice versa, if it opens horizontally, which is your left and right, when P is greater than 0, it goes to your, points to your right. When it's less than 0, it points to the left. Again, our P value is that distance from the focus to the vertex, and it is the same distance from the vertex to the directrix. So let's explore. Sorry, I think I have a cold. All right, so we want to sketch and write the standard equation of the parabola with the vertex 4, 1. So the best thing to do is to graph these things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 puts me at my vertex, which we know from the equation that this is h and k from when we learned how to do that, right? So our focus is 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's our focus. So your directrix is going to go the other direction from your vertex, because remember the vertex is in the middle. So 1, 2, 3 is my P value. So I go another 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's going to give you your directrix. Okay. So this value is y equals -2, and that is your directrix. Our P value, like we said, we counted, that was 3. And so now we want to write this standard equation. Well, if you look at the direction of everything, and kind of come back to this for a moment, our picture is going to look very similar to the one here on the left. We have our vertex, our focus, and our directrix is on the bottom, which means it opens up. So this guy's going to open up, and then that's the equation we're going to be using. So it's x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. So we have h and k from our vertex. So I did it again, x minus 4 squared equals 4 times my P value, which is 3, and then y minus my K. Calculate what you can. X minus 4 squared equals 12 times y minus 1. And we're going to leave it like this for now. I want you to get into this practice and be able to do this part. Okay, so there's 1. Here's number 2. So again, they're going to give you certain things. So we want to sketch and write the standard equation, but this time we're given the focus and the directrix. So the focus is at -2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And your directrix is at -2, 1, 2, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, that line is the directrix, which is up here at y equals 7. So remember that between your directrix and your focus is your vertex. So if I count from here to here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, which means halfway would be 2, and that's where my vertex would be. So my vertex is -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we figured out that our p-value was 2 by counting. Remember that this is your p-value, the distance between them. And again, you're going to look to write your equation. Well, this time our directrix is at the top, which means my parabola is opening downward. But it is still the same equation as our last question. So we fill that in first. And now we go put in the parts that we know. Again, your vertex is h and k. So x minus -2. Now this we've talked about a bazillion times. Remember that when we are putting things in and out of parentheses, it's going to change our signs. So you can skip that middle step if you'd like. 4 times p, which is 2, and y minus k. So here is my equation, or the standard equation of that parabola. Alrighty, 2 down. So, again, different information, same kind of concept. They give me a directrix at x equals 2. So x equals 2 is an up and down line. Remember that your x equals lines go up and down and your y equals lines go left and right. My vertex is at 5, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's my vertex. So that means my focus is in front of that. So my p-value, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 puts me at my focus. So our p-value is 3. Where does that put me for my focus? It puts me at 8, 0. And our equation, since our directrix is here, remember that your parabola kind of goes away from it and your focus is always in the middle of that. So now this is the other equation. And the difference between them is just who's squared. So because it's moving left and right, instead of x minus h being in the front, we have the y minus k in the front. And then it's still 4p and the x minus h. So these two pieces switch depending upon the direction of the parabola. Again, whatever you have, you should, whatever you need, you should have at this point. You've got your h and k, so y minus 0. I've got my p, and I've got my h. So y minus 0 is still y, so we can drop that 0. And this is the equation of this parabola. Hopefully you're still with me, or at least you paused me multiple times to figure this out. Something you can't do at school. And I think I have one more. Yes, I have one more that I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to post some for you to try. All right, so we've got our vertex at 0, 0. We've got our focus at -3, 0, which means my directrix is the other direction. So 1, 2, 3 is my p-value. So I go 1, 2, 3, the other direction. And that means I'm going up and down. So that's x equals 3 is my directrix. It means my parabola is going this way, which gets me that reversed equation from before, from the first two, I should say. And let's fill in what we have. We had our vertex at 0, 0. Well, if there's zeros, it's not going to change much. We get the just regular y squared and the x. All right, well, hopefully you're kind of catching in, and I'm going to give you a couple to try, and that'll be today's lesson.